Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome back, guys. Happy Thursday. Another week seems to just be flying by. I think we have the biggest hurdle out of the way. That is, for those who were somehow unaware yesterday, we had Jerome Powell, we had FOMC, and once again, who could have guessed that it was mostly a nothing burger, right? As usual, these macro events are more important as they are a product of positioning and kind of how we come out of them. And yesterday we talked about a little bit about that duality between equity markets and crypto markets. Crypto kind of de-risked into FOMC. Equities were kind of the opposite, but we're already seeing specifically altcoins rebound as a result. Post FOMC of that de-risking, right? So now we await to see, is this the low? I mean, ETH, Bitcoin, they held where they were supposed to. We'll talk about more of that in just a second. But first, I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, and of course, Unbothered Chef Jackus. Welcome, guys. Before we can get started, before we can start cooking on these charts, giving our predictions for altcoins, Bitcoin, ETH, and maybe even legacy markets as well, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button. And you guys were hitting the like button yesterday, but it's a green day today. No excuses. You guys love to use the excuse that you don't like to hit the like button when the market is green, but no excuses today. But rest assured, we will still cook for you guys. Like I said, markets are responding quite favorably since yesterday, specifically in altcoins, from what we can gather in crypto. Right? I mean, a lot of these alts were beaten down. So far, these are, I would say, reversion pumps, but I mean, that's how all pumps start, right? They start as reversion back to the mean. And I think as long as Bitcoin is looking the way that it is looking, trading above 105, 104K, roughly speaking, it's very difficult to be bearish on any of the coins. So I would say as of right now, this was just another one of those macro events that we'll look back on and say, well, there are people de-risked into it. And at the end of the day, it turned out to be a nothing burger. So that seems to be how the market is responding. I'd love to talk about some of, any altcoins that you guys have on the watch list that might be outperforming in particular. Any thoughts you might have on FOMC? And I mean, it is kind of like that classic case of people de-risked into FOMC, and now they are rebuying the coins that they probably sold here over the last few days. What do you guys think coming out of FOMC? Do you have any thoughts on anything that he said? I personally do not. I was kind of looking to see if the Fed would want to be a little bit more independent from the administration, but there was no commentary really on any of that. So it was just kind of explicitly about the markets. And markets right now are bouncing, which shows us that that positioning was indeed a little bit skewed to the bearish side coming into the event. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets?
Well, if you are not bulled up to the tits right now in this higher time frame do or die support, then you are beyond help.
Helium Jackus again.
No. What's with the helium Jackus?
Oh, fuck.
Jackus. I thought he was joking.
No, he's serious.
Oh my god!
He goes, oh fuck! Just drops.
I remember that happened once before.
It's pretty funny. There he is.
Here we go again.
That nice deep Czech voice.
Wow,
He's back.
there it is.
There he is.
So, Jackus, congratulations. Your country can now add Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. Did that happen this morning?
Guys, if you are not bulled up to the tits, then you are beyond help in this hard time frame do or die level. And it's a perfect confluence. And just like the fact that our central bank has official, I knew that our governor of the central bank is bullish BTC, but obviously being bullish on it and actually adopting it are two entirely different things. And he had to pass it through the board, right? So just like with Fed, there is board of governors, and then they vote on the decisions. Is it rate cut? Is it rate hike? Is it pause? It needs to be a consensus among them. And so I especially like 1 month ago, he said he would love to add BTC to the reserves, but he said it's not our priority right now, and we are not looking to do so in like the next 3 years. And then 1 month later, he says we are looking to do it, and the next day it passes through. Fucking PogChamp. Like, the message this sends is absolutely beyond. Like, people could be like, hey, it's just check. You are missing the plot. You are missing the forest for the trees. You are the guy selling BNB in October 2023 at 200 level. You are an idiot if you do not see it. Honestly, like, for the message it sends, it's the first Western central bank who starts buying. It's no longer, and I know that Czech isn't, big country, but it's still a decent one in Europe. It's no longer like some, mid-Caribbean country.
Wait, hang on. Look at Max right now. You guys see that?
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Yeah.
an angel coming down. Yeah, it is.
Anyways, back to the cooking. The thing is that it now becomes a game theory. The Bitcoin adoption now became a game theory because everyone will now start chasing. Because if you are not buying in now, can you afford everyone else to get in before you and accumulate, and you get in last? It's obvious now. They gonna, like, yesterday they discussed that approximately 5% of the reserves will go into BTC, which is approximately $7 billion, which isn't small, but obviously isn't like, something that would send the price directly to 200K. But it is something. And I think, again, the message it sends. Sorry if my voice is this voice same?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just plugging in the cable for the battery. The message it sends is just too big, and I think lots of other nations will start coming up sooner or later, or they will look at it, right, and they'll be like, all right, we need to figure our way too. And obviously, there'll be folks exactly saying like, oh, let's start there. It's just El Salvador. No, El Salvador was the first one. It was a test country. It worked. Then you add it, and now it's us. Obviously, I'm happy for it that it's us, but it could be anyone. The thing is, again, they will say it's just, they said it's just El Salvador, it's just Bhutan, it's just Czech Republic, and it will end up, oh, United States is adopting BTC. Now we gotta get in, right? Or it's like, who is next? France, Germany, England, could be anyone at this point. You'll likely get next nation in the next 1 or 2 years.
Well, what about the US, Jack? What about Cynthia?
It's possible. That's the thing. It's a message. It's a message out there. And then it will become, again, it's a game theory at this point.
Do you really think that the US is going to allow all these other like smaller nations to, it's going to become a pissing contest, right? Like the US needs to have the most.
I don't know if you guys saw, but what's her name? Christine Lagarde. I think that's how you say it. She was like, yeah, there's not going to be any she's confident there's not going to be any Bitcoin in their reserves.
Yeah.
I saw her say that, and I was like, well, I would say that's a pretty good signal for the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Tommy, I know you have some thoughts on this, so I need to ask you. We saw somebody, a high-profile Bitcoin whale, featured on the cover of a certain magazine this morning.
Oh no!
I saw it. Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, you know what it means.
I know what it means.
It is inevitable. And I think it kind of confirms what Jackus and I have been saying will happen. We just, you don't want to put a date on it because who knows with something like that. It can always get more extreme. But yeah, for those who don't know, Michael Saylor was on the cover of Forbes this morning. Probably not the best sign for a long term. I would just say my thoughts are that the clock is ticking. I don't know where or when it's going to end up, striking midnight. But, I still don't think Michael Saylor is making it through the end of this cycle.
How many minutes to midnight, Tommy? I need to know.
So let me just show you something. This is from a friend of mine from X here. What do we think about this? Is there a pattern?
Oh man. How much time did those people have before?
2 years until incarceration, brother, from the feature on the magazine.
Is that who is
when was Sam on Forbes? Was it in 2021?
It was, yes. Or someone else put out a tweet. Let me try to find it here. It was
October 6th, 2021. Oh boy.
Someone put out like they did the math on it. Let me find it.
How many days do we have?
Right here.
We have 2 years.
Key patterns. Look at the bottom. 74% conviction rate. Average 2.8 year gap between feature on the magazine and then legal action. And then I would say the bottom two, the last 100% mortality rate for oil and gas executives.
Jesus Christ.
We're good there.
Yeah, we're fine.
But going back to 2010, you've got a 74% conviction rate and an average 2 to 3 year gap between when they were featured and when shit hit the fan. So we're on the clock, guys. We're on the clock.
Well, okay. Sam was featured in 2022. That was already a bear market, right? Or had FTX gone under? No, right?
Not when he was on Forbes. Not yet.
Not when he was on Forbes.
I thought he was featured in 2021.
I don't know. Can we chat GPT it?
I'll look it up.
It says, October 6th, 2021.
Damn, that was quick, Tommy.
So that was like a month from the Pico top, but about 2 months from the music stopping.
Okay, so the play here is let's ride it for another year and then short MicroStrategy in the bear market.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I think you can just buy some like ridiculous tails on MicroStrategy at some point, and that's probably going to be the way to play it. But
and let me just be very patient for it.
I do think it is worth being patient for. I kind of feel like MSTR could be in complacency, but I'm not willing to short it here personally. I want to see a bit more price action from Bitcoin, more price action from MSTR. There will come a time to short MSTR. People want to believe that because of the way the debt is structured that he can't be margin called, and I think they're going to find out a very difficult lesson at some point. But again, I'm not going to put a time on it. I'm not going to put a price on it. Just going to let things play out, and we're going to know in the back of our minds that's probably going to be what ends the party at the end of the day.
Yeah. Makes me a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, but oof. I mean, it just ages so poorly, you know?
Yeah.
It just ages so poorly every single time.
It's something we discussed, but yeah, give it time.
Here's the thing is I want to just let the record show I am rooting for Michael Saylor. I want Michael Saylor to be worth $500 billion. But we have spent quite a bit of time talking about the potential vulnerabilities of his strategy, or at least the aggression of his strategy, right? Where it's like he's kind of dangling his company in the air. And the way that he gets out of this is he has to pay back that debt by either collateralizing his Bitcoin, taking out new debt to pay back the old debt, or selling some Bitcoin, and his company is just kind of sitting there. You know, I don't know. I don't like this, but we got time. We got time. It'll get better before it gets worse.
Well,
I think so.
the reality is really that like Sam had no BTC, right? The reality with Michael is that he just keeps on buying on debt. That's the issue, right? That's like the only issue. So the only way he gets into problem is, once again, if he keeps raising the average into the bull market, then owns too much, which is, by the way, what happened with silver in the 80s. Something I could touch upon, like, realistically. Let me. Yeah, I think it was 80s exactly. And there was an entity, I do not remember the name, but they kept buying more and more spot silver, and they just and they started to buy it with debt, and they just had too much. They owned so much supply, and then it was just impossible for them to get out, and they basically got liquidated by the debt.
They cornered too much of the market.
They did, and that's the only risk, in my opinion, but a real risk, right, to Sailor. And the thing is that all you need is the stockholders to keep like pushing MicroStrategy to basically go bankrupt, because it's going to pump their backs. And we know that MicroStrategy holders in a large way is BlackRock. So they do not really care in that way. If MicroStrategy were to go bankrupt, I think it would like be the sacrifice for the greater good in a way. But yeah, I do see it. And in this regard, I think it could be like in a way where silver was in the year 1975 to 78 or something like that, and trading around $5, and then silver went to nearly $50.
Well, what does that mean for our frog coins, Jackus?
Well, for our frog coins, obviously this is BTC specific, but BTC going up in general, having a broader adoption of the space, is always bullish for ETH, which is bullish for frog coins.
Yes, bullish frogs. That's what I heard. Oh man, I mean, ETH is trying here, guys. It's really putting in some effort here, which
I really think the time to break down for ETH was yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
it
God.
was.
It was, bro. They had the bulls right where they wanted them, and they couldn't break it down.
It was right here, man. It was right here.
They had their chance, bro.
It was literally this, and it was either going to end like this, or it's going to do that. And so I think we have our answer, but still some work to be done.
As I said, right, like there is nothing better than Matrix agents on Twitter love to do than get very bearish and call for absurd low targets in a higher time frame do or die support, which this is where ETH is. And so it really came to but honestly, there is no fundamental reason for things to go down, unless you would have like systemic world asset crash, right? Like you would need to have another type of COVID situation for things to drop. So in a higher time frame support, you expect things to hold and go up. And I will keep saying this, it's the same as BNB at the $200 range, October 2023, and you have the largest Matrix agents on Twitter saying, hey, I am this is the biggest bullish trap ever, and they won't trap me. And everyone's ready to short because it's the next FTT 2.0. But some people, they love to get bullish after, thousands % of pumps. I love to get very bullish when people are bearish here at hard time frame support.
Oh man. Yep. It's not do or die. It looks like it's due for ETH right now, but I don't know if we're gonna get that like meat stick we saw from the ETF out of it, but
Staking
either way.
ETF, maybe.
Huh?
Staking ETF, maybe.
That could do it. That could do it.
I mean, I think that's personally not that bullish of a catalyst, as I've said before, but the market will think it's incredibly bullish.
Short-term bullish, Tommy. Short-term bullish.
Yeah.
Listen, the news are coming. You see it on the chart.
You can't predict the news, Jackus.
Listen, now that Gary Gensler is getting out of SEC, do you guys know that BlackRock is changing its ETF for, I hope I say it right, it's like, I think, the intake type of ETF. What it means is that now when people wanted to purchase, they had to buy with dollars, and then if they wanted to take it out, they had to, BlackRock had to sell that BTC or just give them dollars back. But now if people want to deposit, like, they can directly, what is this change is going to do, like, that's actively being pushed through right now. What it will do is that people will be able to deposit directly BTC to BlackRock, hold it for them as a custodian, and then when they want to withdraw, they can receive BTC back instead of dollars, which is a huge change. Also, there is a huge change coming in with the laws, SAB 121, I think, where banks in the US were forced to, like they could custody BTC to some degree for people who were interested, but they really were not pushing it because they had to hold a liability of the same value of the custody of the BTC. So, like, for example, if you wanted someone to hold 100K of BTC, like you had a client, he wanted to buy BTC, you as a bank hold it for him, right? You buy 100K worth of BTC, but you need to hold another liability like bonds or cash in that same value. That's your current law. This law now, with this new administration, is actively being pushed to be changed so that these banks do not have to hold anything else. They can directly custody, which is going to create a completely new market for them, where they can push these products and just be a custodian. It's a new way for banks to generate money. And this is just going to be big. Like, you have all these catalysts coming in. People are missing the forest. In kind. Thank you, AR. In kind.
I think, the most obvious catalyst as a coin, Jackus. I know you've been buying down here. I think I'm looking to become a buyer potentially as well, but it's actually Trumpcoin. I really like this bottom that's forming on it. I think we should talk about it.
I like it too. I like it very much. It's going to be great. It's going to go to billions and billions, and it's going to make numbers. You will be tired of winning, guys.
Here, I've got a chart for it.
Let's see it.
As a holder of Trumpcoin.
Ooh, good, man.
It looks interesting. Like, you're in this little accumulation down here. You're still doing a ton of daily volume, which is good. I don't know.
I think this is gonna end up ripping off the floor one day. I don't know what the catalyst will be, but
well, did you see that he added utility to it?
Did he really?
Well, utility is a very...
Yeah, well, he like allowed you to buy his merch with coins, basically.
Well, I like that the Coinbase volumes on it have remained pretty consistent over the last week, which a lot of meme coins, they get listed, the volume drops off, they die off. I'm talking about something like a MOG, and I like MOG, right? But MOG was outside of the top 100 in Coinbase volumes for pretty much the last few weeks. There's not a ton of retail interest in it, but retail is interested in Trump, which I think, you know, I'm going to be classifying coins with defined volume a little bit differently than other charts, right? A lot of these things are looking floored, but what is actually attracting attention and liquidity at the moment? This is one of the coins. So, you know, I tend to think if majors are going to give you a reversal here, you're probably this is going to be one of the leaders off the low.
Yeah, there are a few things here, right? So first of all, you had the very, you know, initial listing pump, as you usually get with any coins. But from this chart, you can clearly see that it has diminishing downsides, or like you see the seller's exhaustion visibly on the chart, and you see a bottom forming with a large volume here. I think there is also a possibly interesting theory floating around there too, Tommy. You might like it, with the winter mute. Not sure you heard it.
I haven't.
But so there is this saying, and actually like people are tracking it with wallets, that Binance is directly selling Trump coins to Wintermute, who is selling onto the market right now. But they are selling so that they have dollars, and then they can buy back with those dollars.
People love
price.
People love to blame Wintermute for being like the invisible hand in the market, and they're definitely a little suspicious. I won't say that it's completely unfounded, but
wait, Tommy, they are totally
Tommy.
They are totally unbiased. They are your friends. They are providing liquidity. What do you mean?
They're definitely dubious actors in this market. But I will say the people who are like, oh, Wintermute is suppressing the pump on Sol. It's just like, brother, do you understand how market making works?
Most people have no idea. Most people have no idea how it works, bro.
Well, so when a coin is going to give you a move that's basically like 2 or 3 standard deviations in either direction, you're like a market maker is going to be more than likely playing for mean reversion. So why are you selling Sol? Well, there was a huge move to the upside in like one day, so they are playing for mean reversion. They're going to be capturing the spread between the bid and the ask. They got blown the hell out. But I don't want to be quoted defending Wintermute. I really don't like them. But I just saw some crazy takes this week about it.
Yeah.
You know, what is basically just general market making activities. But not to get on a soapbox about it. I like this coin, Trump. I like the Trump coin.
Yeah, I'm still holding the big bag. Like, I sold half, got my money back, and I'm just sitting on a risk-free bag. I'm like, it's gonna pump again, bro, and it's gonna be powerful. You know, it's just one of those things that I need an insurance policy on, just in case. You know, because if it rips to 100 billion without me, the level of cope that I would have is so much greater than round tripping half size. You know, I need to keep it. I learned my lesson with Pepe the first time. I was going to sell half, get my money back, and then leave it. And I didn't do that. And I ended up coping really hard and having to work to get my bag back. I'm not doing that again. This is a blue chip. The president made a meme coin. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Blue chip.
And people don't understand hedging yourself to the upside.
Yeah, they don't. Dude, I can't miss this thing. Like, if this thing pumps to new highs and I miss it, dude, I'll be so mad. I'll be so mad. I bought this thing with size. I bought this thing with size. What's that?
I need to hedge myself to the upside on this soon.
You do, dude.
Yeah.
I bought in with size at $9. I got all my money back with a little bit of extra.
Mm-hmm.
I can't touch the rest. I can't touch the rest. I'm up.
I'll give you my ref link. We can play it on Purpies together.
Is it on Hyperliquid?
Yeah, it is.
The shameless ref link shillor.
Fun fact about Hyperliquid: they have more open interest for Trump than any other exchange. At least that was the case on opening weekend. That might have changed in the last 2 weeks, but was pretty cool.
Tommy, where do you like this thing here? Because if this is the
People-
range,
People don't get this is bullish.
It is bullish.
Mhm.
it is. Do you want that 80% in the president's hands or a bunch of like literal paper-handed Jeets? Think about it.
I mean, I know the average Solana user, so I'd definitely rather
Yeah.
have it in Trump's hands than his.
Is the low in here, guys? Is the
Well,
low
that's what I was
in
going to
on
ask. So,
Altcoin?
Tommy, you're prospecting along on this. This looks like a pretty clear accumulation that's happening here at range low. What are you looking for as a trigger?
I kind of think they're gonna push that high at like $30. Probably wipe late longs back to like 27-ish, and then I think you're gonna start to move up a lot more aggressively. At least that's how I would play the lower time frame. That's kind of what I'm looking at, but we'll see how it transpires. I like this one. I really think it's like at least back to new highs.
So are you thinking potentially something like this, where you would take out these highs right here, late longs screwed, and then you try to come in like right around here?
Maybe a little bit more volatile than that, but basically.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I might have to just punt and hold, honestly.
Whenever you see a
long.
coin, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, Tucker. I was just gonna say, whenever you see a coin that's like flooring, hasn't curled up just yet, but you are seeing I think the most important thing to observe about this chart is that volatility is dying out. So it's found a floor. You're running out of kind of people who are willing to transact at this price, at least selling. You know, I'm assuming because support hasn't broken. When this starts to curl up, with it probably will also be a little bit low volatility, and it's going to break out.
So here's the Trump Sol pair.
So that looks like it's going to double bottom.
Yeah, you could maybe view this as like deviation. If the Sol pair comes down here, that's probably your spot, honestly, because this should be demand somewhere around here.
I kind of view this this chart like an airdrop fractal, right? Like coming out of it, it is a bit like an airdrop. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it does kind of look like a like a jupe or like a what else? Even like a Sui, even though it wasn't an airdrop. Like I'm pretty sure Sui kind of looked like that. Yeah, it did, man. It did, kind of, not identical, but
I think a lot of these other coins, like Trump is probably showing strength at support much more quickly than a lot of these coins did.
Mm-hmm.
This looks a little bit like Say, but that is a godforsaken token.
Like Say now or Say back in the day?
Say back in the day, but I don't think it's going to do what Say did. I think that would require it making another low.
Yeah, I agree. Lows are in. Give me your ref link, Tommy.
Let's go. That's the bull market spirit.
That is how you know it's a bull market, though. Like when you have people making like hundreds of thousands of dollars off of ref links, and I wish that were me, but it's unfortunately not. I think the most I've ever made on a ref link was like $200 or $300.
Yeah. Reflinks used to make big money before we got in.
I don't think I've ever made $1 on a ref link ever.
I made like $1.
Pretty sure that's how Gainsey made it.
Dude, I remember last cycle, I was following Gainsey, and he had some whale trading on his like Bybit ref link, and he was making like 10 grand a day or something like that off that one whale.
Yeah.
It was probably Kobe trading on his link.
That's what I think it was Kobe that was using his ref link and also feeding him trades.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know, though, in crypto. I feel like this cycle is very representative of that. Like there was a coin that launched yesterday, and it's like the same playbook every time there's this new coin on Solana. It's the same people that miraculously ended up getting in below like 5 million market cap, and they're just like, yeah, there's nothing dubious about this.
Yeah.
Jelly, I think it was called.
Jelly.
200 million. I'm not sure where it is now, but I'm not really a believer in the coincidence that the same people find every coin before everybody else.
They're just geniuses, bro. Come on.
They're just geniuses.
Yeah.
The LA vape cabal.
What do we think about this Pepe Coinbase chart right here, gentlemen?
Ooh. Well, I will say, as a pattern trader, I see the very clear, like, replay of the thing that Pepe did last year towards the end of 2023.
Mm-hmm. And also, I will note, and I don't think you were listening, Tommy, but I covered that scenario in my space that I did on Tuesday for Andy and Wolf. We talked basically the whole time about Pepe. And January 30th of last year, we had FOMC, and Pepe was doing the exact same pattern right after FOMC. Here, I got it saved. I'll pull it up.
It would be really, really funny if they pumped it on ETH Denver again when we get everybody together.
Yeah, it would be epic, dude.
So look at this right here. So look at the FOMC that we had last year. Look at, we topped on the same day, December 9th. Capitulation, FOMC while we're in this monthly inefficiency. And we just had this year's FOMC right here. It's like literally the same. And bro, look at the bull trap right there. The red text. I'm not sure if you can read that.
Mm-hmm.
That little bull trap happened on the same day. Bleed into FOMC, fill the monthly inefficiency, and then 10x within 45 days. It's crazy.
Well, I would be euphoric. So.
Oh my god. We 10x'd in 45 days.
The problem is you actually might never see me again. That's the issue. A 10x from these levels is a little different than a 10x from the levels of last year. So,
because what's it at? $5 bill right now? $6 bill?
bro, I've doubled the size of my Pepe bag since that time last year, and I also own Andy and Wolf now, which are Pepe beta, which I didn't last time. Like, I've effectively like 5x the size to 10x the size of my Pepe exposure for this setup versus the last one. So the next 45 days could be crazy. Winter mute, if you're watching, please manipulate it in my favor. Okay. Tommy is beyond frozen right now, man.
Oh,
beyond frozen.
There he goes.
I've never seen a man more frozen in time than what I just saw.
You speak of winter mute manipulating, and suddenly Tommy rocks. Interesting.
Coincidence? I think not. I mean,
I think it looks like the setup, a little bit like March, April too.
But I think it's more like last year because the seasonality and what our expectations are for ETH. But yes, I agree with you. So
timing wise, yeah, like
look at this. Look at this. So if we think about it in terms of like Pepe being like purely at its core Ethereum beta, right? Is it going to be more like the ETF pump, like this manic thing over here? I would argue the structure looks more similar, right? This kind of falling wedge that you've identified, Tucker. However, the magnitude of the ETH rally I'm expecting would be a more sustained one like this rather than a quick, pump and then sell off, right? So I think maybe kind of a combination of the two where the technical structure looks more like April, May for ETH. But I think the sustainability potential of the rally is going to be more like Q1 of last year, right? So,
yeah, we hope for the sustainability. That's for sure.
Dude, if we can get a little 2x out of ETH, just like it did in Q1 of last year,
That's all we need, man. Just give
That's
me
all we
5K.
need.
5K, I'll be euphoric. 5K.
Dude, Jack has gave me financial advice with a guaranteed full rebate if it goes wrong, but he said 21,000 ETH.
Wow, Jackus.
Yeah.
I was told 20,000 ETH last cycle though, so
Dude, I was told 10K ETH and then we got rugged halfway there.
Raw Paul told me 20,000 ETH last cycle.
Raul Powell told me 40,000 ETH. So
Well, everyone's telling me 2,000 ETH this cycle.
That's true.
I've seen some pretty egregious Ethereum calls over the past week, man. I saw some 500 ETH calls. I saw some 1,200, some 1,800.
For real.
Tommy,
But the thing is,
stream
the same.
rug
My internet bricked for a second, so
Tommy, what do you think about this right here? Is it a coincidence that we topped on December 9th and then fell into FOMC at the exact same day as Q1 of last year?
numerology bros would say that it's not a coincidence.
So Tommy, I made a new, because I'm on my coder arc right now, I made a new custom indicator. So I made the moon phase indicator, but I added candle colors to see how it shades the candles.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think about this? I mean, bang.
Looks like it lines up pretty well.
Oh, the moon too.
The astrological heartbeat of the market.
It looks like we get that go back a little bit. That full moon though, like right before. So we should have like 15 days, right?
So this was on February 20th.
Yeah.
And then from February 20th of last year,
Yes, that's the
we rallied 8x in 21 days.
Oh, that's 10x, brother. It's 10x.
Bruv, ETH is up 5% on the day, leading.
ETH is up. One day, ETH goes up 5%. We've got moon fractals on Pepe immediately.
It's funny too because every time
For
ETH
real.
is up 5% and Bitcoin's only up like 1.5%, it's usually because ETH got wrecked earlier in the week.
True.
True. But listen,
True.
this time is different. And
I think so too.
it's like people always say, you got bullish at the top, right? It's like there is not a better time to get bullish, like real bullish, than at higher time frame support, higher time frame do or die support with all that's happening right now. Like, and like you have people, seriously, you have people deleting .es from their nicknames. Like, remember what happened when people started to pull off Bitcoin laser eyes and when it happened, right? Below 20K Bitcoin, people were deleting laser eyes from their PFPs. Well, right now, you have people deleting .es from their nicknames. You have a general consensus in the market there will never be another alt season. You have people capitulating. At the same time, you have nations aping Bitcoin, and you have Larry and Trump aping ETH.
Dude.
Max has a term for it. It's called Buckerino.
He said, dude.
I'm changing it to Buckenheimer.
Buckenheim.
Wait. Okay, you need to put some different fibs on there. Oh, wait. Well, because we didn't even hit the 1618 on the last one. I need you to throw the 1414 on there. On both. I bet you that was it.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
That's it.
So, Max, you know the drill. We now screenshot this and we present it as our work.
I want you to get all the engagement, Jackus. You deserve it.
Absolutely. I've done so much work on this.
Yeah, we're going higher. Fuck you. I mean, bro.
I mean, you know what this kind of reminds me of on Pepe, this consolidation? It does not look the same, right? So I want to point that out. But I mean, I use this example way too frequently, so I almost hate to say it again, but it's like, you can kind of look at on a higher time frame the way some of these accumulations look. And if you zoom out on Pepe, obviously this consolidation we've been in since effectively the beginning of 2024. I mean, look at something like WIF. At the start of 2024, end of 2023, right? You had the big consolidation that kind of had 3 drives before it eventually broke out and did a 10x or a 15x, whatever, or maybe even a 20x from where it broke out. I'm not saying Pepe is about to do a 20x. It'd be great if it did, but in that same way, like if you zoom out and you look at Pepe, kind of this 3 drive pattern we've put in now, if it does turn into be vertical accumulation, and the 4th try through the highs is going to be what Giga sends it much higher.
I mean, are you talking about this one, like 1, 2, 3?
Right.
Okay.
And if you look at WIF, right, that price action right at the beginning, you had 3 drives, and then the 4th one ended up being the breakout, the one where you ripped the ROI significantly higher. It's not the same. I want to point out they don't look the same. But if you zoom out on Pepe, right, like look at it like a weekly maybe, in that same way, you've got that high time frame structure with 3 drives towards the highs. And if you're putting a 4th through the high, I don't think it's going to look like a deviant high, right? Like just a slightly higher high than the previous one. I think it looks like, the one that you hold meme coins for. Right? Something like that. If you just isolate that pattern.
I'm going to do this for you right now. I know what you're talking about.
There.
It's not quite the same, right? But I think contextually, definitely some similarities there.
I'd be euphoric, Tommy.
Yeah. Oh,
Again,
man.
I don't know if it'll do quite what WIF did out of that structure, because obviously market caps are different, but
Tommy, we don't know what market caps are.
No, it'll do the exact same thing, Tommy. Just go with it. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Turn your brain off. Just ignore it. It's fine.
I'd be interested to know what MOG looks like today. I know it looked
think-
very similar to Pepe, but it bled a lot.
I think I keep hearing Butters.
No, it's not Butters.
I think Butters is asleep. Is it Peanut?
Yes, it's Peanut. It is indeed.
Tucker, are you like me where you name most of your animals after food? I realized I've done that subconsciously pretty much my entire life. Even with stuffed animals when I was a kid, I'd always name them like after food.
Well, I had a dog named Cinnamon back in the day. And then, yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why it just works.
Something endearing
Mm-hmm.
about an animal named after food. Although Butters is technically named after the South Park character.
Mm.
They don't know what we're cooking, though.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what we're cooking.
Subtle alpha drop.
I've been doing some research, just watching South Park. No, go away, honey. I'm working. I'm working. R&D. What were you finding there, Max? Anything?
Dude, I'm just going to make it really simple. It's really...
He's cooking.
I think there are a few memes that kind of fit this this description. Like maybe Mog, but that structure is just like it's harder for me to get bullish on the Mog structure than Pepe. Although I know we said yesterday it was at a put up or shut up level. I'm assuming that it's put in a big bounce because ETH beta is all up today.
Chinese stocks are pumping too.
My Baba bag smiles. I told myself a few weeks ago, I was like, it would be really nice to have more of my net worth and assets that I can count on not going down like 20 or 30% at any given moment.
Yeah,
And so I started buying Chinese stocks.
I'm big time on Chinese stocks. People know in BBN newsletter. I think that, and it's once again, right? Like you get this very clean 2-year bottom accumulation, nearly 3 years now. And every expert out there is telling you to avoid Chinese stocks when literally people are accumulating big time. And you know that they will just come in when Baba is above $300 and they'll be like, I think it's a good time to get into Chinese stocks. It's like forever repeating pattern, man. Or listen, this is very popular right now. One leg higher and then bear market.
That's their favorite thing ever, Jackus.
There is nothing more than matrix agents on CT love to say these days that cycle top, no alt season, or one leg higher and then bear market.
I loved to see the rhetoric today or not today, but this week, like people who have been calling for alt season for basically 2 or 3 years, finally saying there will not be one. That definitely felt significant. In addition to what you guys were saying earlier, you had .eth literally melting down on the timeline.
Yeah. The time is now.
What do you guys think about Sol here?
Listen, no, we are not entertaining ETH strengths today enough. ETH is just 1.7% shy from reclaiming yearly open and breaking that falling wedge after bouncing from a weekly demand on a 3-tap on that weekly time frame. After Powell positively spoken for the first time ever in FOMC. Larry and Trump are bidding like madmen, and people deleting .es behind their nicknames. I'll keep on repeating this. Baccarino doesn't get it.
Baccarino.
That's good. Yeah, man, I might have to long some Trump here soon, Tommy.
I got a plan for you. I'll show you after.
You really got me thinking.
Why would I buy spot Trump when I can buy levered Trump?
That's what I'm saying. Not spot. I'm talking.
I might buy some spot. I won't buy. I'll probably do both. That's what I like to do when I take a leverage trade. I'll usually take a spot position of the same thing to avoid overcomplicating it on perp.
Tommy, are you still as bullish as me on BNB?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure where I think it's going to end up topping out. Like that to me is a complete question mark. But I mean, the structure that it is putting in and it continues to put in is like it's the definition of vertical accumulation. So
CZ starting to get very vocal on the timeline again. Have you noticed?
Yes. But he's not technically Binance anymore. He's whatever.
Oh sure.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah, sure. That's okay.
It's like
wink, wink.
I'm CZ or I'm not CZ.
Okay, everyone, let's just pretend. Let's just pretend. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. No one say anything, guys. a picture is worth 1,000 words. Do I even need to say anything? You know, I mean, this is.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
We were just talking about Pepe. Look at this chart. Look at Andy Bobandi, Fee Fi Fofandi against Pepe. Do you see the Cheeto? Do you see the Cheeto? Guys, let me flip it. Does this look bullish to you? No. It's going to nuke. This is going to nuke. Let me help you guys out here. Let me help you with some simple math. Okay. We're going to write it on the screen. Pepe goes up 10x. Andy Pepe goes up 3.5x. That's this chart. You multiply it out, and what do you get? Andy goes up 35x. That's what this chart is telling you. Wait. There it goes. That's what this chart is telling you. Do you understand the relationship? If you want the best on-chain levered Pepe bet without any risk of liquidation or funding or even just inherent centralized exchange risk, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the unicorn. Andy Bobandi, Fee Fi Fofandi. This is the Cheeto, man. 7 taps on this trend line? Are you kidding me? Look at this thing. Look, there's this guy, Gabe, who's in the comments, man. Look, here's the thing. Gabe, since I know that you probably don't own any Andy, and this is a brand new concept for you, you're just hearing about it for the first time ever. That is what I'm suggesting. So, Gabe, you know, it'd be good to maybe just put like, you know, put $500 into it, you know, don't size in too crazy, you know, definitely, you know, don't accumulate and hold over 1% of the project or anything like that. And just, you know, maybe a little $500, you know, probably keep it comfortable, Gabe. So, you know, I know this is brand new, and I'm willing to be here for you as a new Andy investor, Gabe. Okay, whatever I can do to help.
I think that trend line's being respected a little too much.
This is great news. Thank you. Going to get on chain for the first time. That's amazing, Gabe. You're so brave for getting on chain for the first time, Gabe. That is amazing. Wow. Wow. Gabe, you're going to become a real trench warrior, brother. That's amazing. I'm just kidding, guys. Gabe's one of our Andy whales, man. Gabe's a Giga Chad that makes other Giga Chads look like soy jacks. You understand what I'm saying? Gabe's that dude. Gabe is quite familiar with Andy, and he's quite familiar with on-chain. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, I think some people in the comments for sure, they don't know the lore of Gabe because they're not in the BB Discord, man. We have a BB Discord role for Andy people, and you can basically verify your holdings and get a special badge and permissions. So people that are in the BB Discord, they know the lore of Gabe. All right, they understand who Gabe is. Gabe doesn't ask for respect; he commands it. Okay. Yeah, the biggest balls on planet Earth, man. It's a medical condition that Gabe suffers from. He can barely walk. It's a problem. But guys, for real, like joking aside, this chart is just, it couldn't look much better given the potential of the Pepe setup here. It's that simple. It's that simple. Come on, guys, yank me off the soapbox. Somebody.
No, I'm just looking at ETH. I'd love to see it go for I don't know. I'd love to see it go right for those highs at 3,500 before any pullbacks. Like if this is the low, we should be locking people out from the bottom.
I'm
This
just
is the low.
prospecting a Trump long, man. That's
Tommy,
it.
repeat it 3 times. This is the low on ETH.
This is the low on ETH.
3 times.
2 more times, Tommy.
Do it. Listen, guys, we will make Tommy put .eth behind his nickname.
Hell no. I'm gonna tell you that's never happening. Unless he literally retires my bloodline, that will not be happening.
Listen, now that everyone has deleted it, that would send a message.
Tommy, if I buy you like a sweet ENS, like a rare, expensive one, and it has to do with like Snorlax or Tommy or something, would you change your name to that?
If you bought me Snorlax.eth, I might consider it.
Is it for sale?
Probably, but you're gonna have to pay for it.
If that's what it takes, brother, let me check.
I hate ENS squatters though.
Snorlax,
like on principle, I don't want to buy the ENS.
No,
I have some great ENSs already though. Some of the comments, I do have some good ENSs.
Someone owns it until February 17th, 2029.
Oh shit.
Let's check OpenSea. Maybe it's listed.
I think you'd have to probably put in an offer.
Wait, someone owns Snorlax.eth?
Somebody, I mean, there's like a few people that squatted like all of the Pokemon ENSs. But I feel like with guys like that, if you have too many of them and you're not well capitalized, the cost to like continually renew all of those ENSs, there's just no way you're going to profit. Like,
what could be a good one for you, man? I want to buy you one that's rare.
I think I'm going to put the one that I bought a few months ago as my my new ENS. Tucker knows what it is.
Oh yeah.
What about Snorlax ETH.eth?
I could get you Snorlax XBT.eth.
It's okay.
What about just COVID.eth?
Marketmaker.eth.
Is COVID.eth available?
I doubt it. There's no way. On-chain COVID.
On-chain
COVID. Speaking of, what do you guys think of ENS?
I haven't looked at that chart in a long time. It was one of those things I thought would have moved a lot harder way sooner, but let's see what it's at. Interesting. Doesn't look bad. Looks a lot like Pepe.
Dude, someone owns Pepe.eth. That's so cool.
Basically, every ENS you can think of that would be worth having, somebody already owns. The fact that I got the one that I did a few months ago was legitimately shocking.
Who owns Andy.eth?
I don't know. Probably some guy named Andy.
A crypto punk.
Dude, someone owns ETH.eth.
I think Bob Laxative owns like a huge chunk of the 3-digit ENSs.
Bob Lax has them all.
Yeah. Unless he sold them. I don't think he did though.
Dude, someone squatted because Bitcoin.eth and they reached out and wanted to sell it to us.
We won't negotiate with terrorists.
I was just about to say that.
On principle, I will never pay them for that because they're just so weaselly. They knew that we were the only buyer, and they're like, they'll for sure buy it from me. Nope. Enjoy because Bitcoin.eth. I'm never buying it from you.
That Tropic Thunder scene.
maybe for like $50 or something.
Too much. I'll never. No, on principle, I can't do it. On principle, because they did it with the intention of like squeezing me, squeezing us. I can't allow it. I will not negotiate with terrorists.
That's a good one. Is soybeans taken?
Sailor also bought, Sailor.
Oh,
on Twitter.
Tucker, scoop it right now. Someone's
Soybeans.eth, it's on grace period. What does that even mean?
I
I
mean,
mean that it expired,
it-
but it's not available yet.
Okay, yeah. So it ends on March 13th. So if the person doesn't extend it before March 13th, we can ape. Soybeans.eth, and there's a picture. Look at it. Pull it up on yours, Max. There's a picture of soybeans. That's the logo.
It's a
That
good
had
one.
to be someone from Market Check crew.
Yeah, now I'm not going to get it. Somebody in the comments is going to snipe it on March 13th.
Soybean.
That's a good one, man. That's a straightforward name. That's simple. That's a good one.
What about BTC.eth?
That's taken. Someone asked, what is the whale classification in the Discord? If you own over 1 billion, Andy, you get the whale chat, and then the whale badge and special perks and unlimited respect from your constituents.
Verse it.
It's worth it. All you have to do is just buy 1 billion, Andy, and then you're a beast. Yeah, man. ETH looks squeezy here. Squeezy.
Squeeze them. They deserve it.
What are we at?
Take from them everything.
We need 3,300,
Give
man.
them nothing, but take from them everything.
Yeah, seriously. Dude, just like imagine being a bear, bro. Like it's just such a freakish thing to be, you know? Like look at this trend line. Squeeze them so tight that their eyeballs pop out of their head. Look at this thing. Squeeze them.
Do it.
Well, how do we feel about a 5th tap?
It's got to be. Yeah, I was
1,
going to say we're on the
2,
5th tap now.
3, 4.
5th time's the charm. That's what I heard.
Seriously, like after all ETH has been through and the way it could have dropped but didn't, like bears will, like people will start questioning, all right, like ETH have been through all of this and it's not like it should have been $2,000, $500 as they promised me, but somehow it's bouncing from this support again. Like people deleted their .eth from their nicknames and still no breakdown. And what if like it manages to push above this range that we've just been through? Like what if it just like after that keeps pushing, right? And then we are at 4K, and do I really think that 4K holds again? Right? What if not? And then it starts going up like, oh, maybe I should, maybe this time is different.
But Ansem told me 2,100.
I will say it was definitely more fun hating on ETH when everybody else was not also hating on ETH at the same time.
Yeah, you're not special anymore, Tommy.
I know.
I
It
feel
just
like
feels like overkill.
I feel like people have been hating on ETH for a while, but the amount of hate it has received in the recent weeks have been immense. Let's put it that way. Like I feel people have been hating on ETH for like a year now, but it really didn't get to a point where it is right now until now. And now it's going to keep squeezing and squeezing. They'll be like, no, how it keeps going up.
Good.
Just one more leg down, please. I swear I'll exit my short.
This was the chance to break it down right here, man. They had 3 stabs at the low here. 1, 2, 3, and they couldn't get it done. We're going to cook the other way.
It's going to be a melt up. Study melt ups. You have not studied melt ups.
So, Jackus, let's look at a ticker that you've spent some time covering, which is BNB. And for good reason. The crime ticker. I guess for me, I don't know if you disagree or not. If you flip 690 and everything in this little red shade is a fake breakdown, ooh, baby. Like, it's going to be, it's going to be one of these, just a ripper. Something like this.
That's my take for a while, basically.
So I should tweet this as though it was my idea and get all the engagement.
That's how this industry works.
Yeah, I plan to do that.
So you post BNB and I post Pepe. It's a
No,
fair
Jack,
deal.
I'm posting both. You don't get to post anything. I get the engagement.
Although I gotta say I dislike one thing about this chart. Like that upside is too gradual. You need to study verticality.
Okay, hang on. I'm sorry. Let me fix it. I didn't mean it. Hang on. All right.
Yeah, no. You just, yeah, okay. And like extend it to like 3K maybe.
Like this. More.
More.
All right, let's do this. Let's go back to last cycle then. Okay.
Finally.
If we're gonna do it, we should do it right.
Finally, he's studying verticality. Now we're talking.
All right, here's what I can do for you. But what I'm going to add on here is I'm going to add some fibs. Okay.
Actually, we need to go to 4,000 because CZ said 4. Or maybe he said 4 trillion.
How about this, Jack? It's 2.618 up at 6,000.
That could do it.
That's fine.
Yeah. This is going to properly silence bears and make everyone convinced that it's real adoption. And it is. But you will buy at the wrong time.
Tommy, what do you think about this?
Well, it's like I said, I feel like trying to figure out the upside on BNB is I go back and forth on whether or not I think it's going to be maybe like a pump to 1,500, 2,000, or, if it's going to play out exactly like last cycle, it looks the exact same. So, I mean, I would not be at all surprised if BNB were to do something absolutely obscene like that. Although I think I'm going to lean a little bit more conservative on my targets for BNB until I actually see it, right? But I do think that this long it has been setting up for literally almost like a year. So there's going to be some sort of big swing in here that I would love to catch. But yeah, it's definitely been a long time coming.
She's trying, Max. She's trying.
Dude, it's going to. We can't reject from here. There's just no way.
We're going to reject on like the 5-minute time frame, and then we'll go.
Here's what it is.
What is this downtrend?
Polyline enjoyer.
You wouldn't get it.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Trust me. I'm also a polyline enjoyer.
Really? A fellow polyline enjoyer?
Yes.
I love it, bro. Look at this. We're nuking.
No pullbacks.
Nope. Remember, no dips.
No pullbacks.
No dips.
We had enough.
All right, Tucker. I need a favor from you.
What's that?
I need a new Norman Rockwell prophecy from you today.
Man.
Today.
I was actually thinking about that the other day.
Today. After market check.
Okay.
And I need it to be guaranteed Full financial advice with full 100% rebate if it fails.
Of course.
That level of a meme. That level of a prophecy. And I need it today.
I know.
You
I was
get an
thinking about
instant
one the other day, and I was like, I just don't. I had to wait to see how FOMC went, and also I kind of want to see how GDP goes tomorrow. But
the macro enjoy.
I mean, look, I'm bullish on February, of course, but I'll put one together.
I need it.
I know.
I'm craving it.
I'll cook something up. I think they sold did they sell MicroStrategy on the Forbes news today?
I think they did a little bit, yeah.
I think they did. Look at it.
It's like neutral on the day.
I'm not ready to be bearish MSTR. But what I would do is be bearish the pair against Bitcoin.
Yes.
I think MSTR's dramatic outperformance against Bitcoin is over this cycle. So I think it can still go higher. But I think you could probably even re-enter the old range.
Can you zoom out a little bit more? Oh, that doesn't matter anyway, because, well, I would rather view it.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
I think actually it makes only sense from 2020 to start marking this chart. Before, MSTR had no BTC prior to it. And in that regard, we had our first breakout from this range. So the first time MSTR or like MicroStrategy adopted BTC was in like October 2020. So I would rather view it that MSTR just broke out. Like, I think anything prior to it doesn't matter.
I could see this if it's going to continue to be bullish against Bitcoin.
I am not bullish on MSTR against Bitcoin.
Like, me neither in the long term. But I still think that there's way more upside for BTC, hence for MSTR. Because MSTR owns Bitcoin on debt. So if BTC goes up, they earn even more. But on paper.
Yes.
But the stock has still been diluted to buy BTC, which has always kind of been like my issue with.
We know it's a Ponzi.
I know,
We
but
know that.
You're going to need that buy pressure in TradFi on MSTR, I think.
I know.
Which just makes Bitcoin that much more attractive to me. One supply is increasing. The other one is, is going to stay the same.
I mean, this doesn't look super great, I'll be honest, if you view this as the range.
I do agree. That said, I still, well, like, if this was a forex pair, then yes, but you still would need to break below that demand that you have right below there locally from 2024 if you just want to treat it as a forex pair. So you would need to break below that. As long as you're above, this is still bullish, and I would rather view it like, again, as a forex pair, and I would rather view this chart of like erase anything prior to 2020, because that's when MSTR adopted BTC, and that's when it became a sort of ETF fund, leveraged ETF fund.
Yeah, worth keeping an eye on.
I still think there is like one big major leg for MSTR. And I think there is going to be a big squeeze on. I really think MSTR is going to play out like silver in those 80s. Like they will keep on buying. It will go absolutely absurd. And then you corner the market, and this is what it is.
Dude, this chart needs to nuke, man. It is time for this thing to give out. Look at tether dominance, man. This thing is floating in no man's land. Right here.
Do you know what I think happens to MSTR?
What?
Let me I think we are looking at the chart like this and it feels crazy, but I think you need to zoom out and you need to view this as the first two reaccumulation boxes, and on the next one you go like this, and this is the top. So this was the first breakout. This is the second. People think it's crazy, but we know bull market always produces that paradigm shift like higher. And it's sort of going to be like e-gold price-wise. I'm sure there's lots of stocks in that regard, but I just seen it today when people asked. And you're basically like here on this second one where you feel it's crazy. Because if you are in it, right, it feels like, hey, this is a massive run. And here you are like, hey, this is a massive run. Surely, we must be topped here. And then it does something like this. And then you get the real blow through. And this is what I think is next. You'll go absolutely mental. It will make no sense. And that's when's the top in. I think 2000 MSTR is no meme.
Well, let's have some fun in the meantime. But that takes us to the end of the show. Sir Tommy, let them know how they can take probably the best decision that they'll ever make. Let them know what steps they can take.
Absolutely, guys. If you enjoyed the stream today, if you are interested in joining the BB family, maybe you heard something today from an analyst that really resonated with you, you're looking to get more alpha from any of us or all of us, well, we have a few solutions for you, starting with, guys, our premium Discord. Again, you can get the access that you that you might crave. You get 4 to 5 hours of us every single day through daily calls, often our positioning, and always our thoughts on the market as things happen. So, I mean, really, like if you ever had a moment where you're like, well, damn, I wish I could ask one of those analysts a question right now to be able to help conquer this market. Well, the Discord's a pretty great way to be able to do that. And so definitely check that out, guys. The Discord is getting a little bit crowded. So be aware of that. Prices can definitely increase on the Discord. As we always say, as the prices of the market increase, so will the prices of the Discord and all of our products. So make sure to hop on this deal while you still can. We were nice enough to package the premium Discord together with the BB terminal, guys, which will be your go-to tool for this cycle. Whether or not you are an active trader, long-term investor, or soon We will have stuff for degens as well. This will be a tool that you use for all of your active and long-term trading. And we will continue to make it the best possible tool on the market. It has already, I'm sure people who have been using the terminal since it came out can attest to this. I mean, the improvements that have already occurred on the terminal have been incredible, and it's only going to get better. And of course, I'm going to say, as the prices of the market go up, so will the prices of our products, especially the products that continue to get better and better. So make sure to take advantage of the BB terminal while you still can. Of course, if you're looking to hone your educational base or even reach trading level mastery, we have a product for you as well. That is the BB Academy. Come learn from the entire team, all of our diverse skill sets. I really think that's the most valuable part about the course, is that you do get to learn from so many different styles of trading. Of course, maybe this volatility over the last few weeks has been too much for you. Maybe picking assets in this market in a successful way has been difficult. Well, we have a solution for you as well that involves potentially allowing the team to manage your money for you. We have an SEC registered hedge fund, guys, BB Wealth Management. We manage digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns, while also managing the downside risk posed in any financial market. So becoming an LP or an accredited investor is something that interests you. Check the description out below. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can. But yeah, if anything that I just said over the last 2 or 3 minutes has resonated with you, check out the description below. Of course, if you enjoyed Market Check today, we will be back for our last show of the week tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But of course, don't forget Wabi's show will also be tomorrow, not today, hosted through our X account, because Bitcoin, and of course Wabi's account as well. He is live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's it, guys. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Like I said, Market Check will be back tomorrow, so we'll see what this market throws at us in the next 24 hours. But pretty important bounces that we put in here since FOMC, I have to say, especially on risk, on ETH. We'll see where we go. But that's it from us. Thank you, guys, as always. And of course, stay safe.